holiday season can be an incredibly lonely time for many. One organization is spreading the holiday cheer through laughter and giving back to the comedic community that brings smiles to people's faces all year round. Now, joining us this morning with more on the Laughing for Good initiative are comedian Vladimir Caamano and co-founder of Comedy Gives Back, Jodi Lieberman. Welcome to New York Living, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us this morning. And, first of all, I have to say, comedy and stand-up comedy to me is probably the most difficult form of performing, right? I mean, it is. I just get sweaty thinking about it.
Absolutely.
And my daughter dabbled into it for a while, and I went a couple times to watch it, and that was tough enough. So, first of all, talk to us a little bit of what got you involved in comedy. You tend to represent more comedic issues and people, right?
Well, I've been in the comedy business for many years now. I started off producing a large comedy festival in Montreal called Just for Laughs, and now I manage comedians. And we started Comedy Gives Back, myself and my two partners, Amber J. Lawson and Zoe Friedman, a couple of years ago, where we found there was a need for comedians. They kind of fell through the crack, right, and there was no safety net. So we are the safety net for the comedy community, and we provide mental health services, chemical dependency treatment, and financial crisis relief.
So you started this Comedy Gives Back organization how many years ago, you were just saying?
Well, we started it back in 2011, okay, but we moved into really taking care of our own right before the pandemic in 2019, after
Sure.
we had lost some comics in this world,
Yeah.
and we felt like we need to step up and be there for them.
So how can people get back to that organization today?
Well, we are doing an initiative called Laughing for Good on Thursday, tomorrow. We're taking over Laughing Thursday. You have, Cyber Monday and Giving
Right.
Tuesday. Now we have Laughing Thursday.
Works for me.
And there's 17 comedy clubs participating across the country. And in New York, we have 4 comedy clubs: Gotham, The Stand, New York Comedy Club, and West Side Comedy Club. And you can just go buy a ticket, and they're going to donate proceeds of that to Comedy Gives Back.
That's wonderful. Now, Vladimir, I saw a little bit of your bit, by the way. Dominican from the Bronx.
Yes, sir.
Your dad named you Vladimir, a name you said he has difficulty even pronouncing.
Yeah, my father's a super in the Bronx, and he calls me Black Man Cat. And I'm a New York comic, born and bred. And, comedy's a tough route, and I think this is a signal to a larger trend. My brother's a dance instructor, and I know how tough it is for artists. So this is just a larger trend about taking care of our artists and taking care of those people that provide culture and influence to our communities.
Clearly. And again, obviously during the pandemic, when all these stand-up clubs and a source of making any kind of money disappeared, I know a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are struggling. So this is an important cause. For you, why comedy?
Excellent question, man. I wish I had a quick answer for you. I find myself to be a protector of a way of living, particularly for where people. My family's from the Caribbean, so I find that people of my background, we have a place in society just to remind people about where we come from, how we do things, and how we care for each other. I find comedy to be a very soothing art form, and it provides relief, and it provides care. And like Jodi is saying, we have to be in a proper space ourselves to be able to give that to others. Right.
You were talking about, I saw some of your skits, the personal struggles, the neighborhood, the neighborhoods we grow up in. You could either suffer in it and sink, or you can use laughter as a way to survive through it. And it seems like that's one of the things you did. You had a bit about your dad he was a construction worker.
Yeah, my father's super in the Bronx, man. And I always tell people we have to find genius in our own neighborhoods. My father would take a black garbage bag, and it was a raincoat, it was a curtain.
Right.
At one point it was a Halloween costume. He called me the Dark Knight.
Multi-purpose. Now, who are some of the people that you idolize or inspired you comedically-wise growing up?
I would say, we talk about Dick Gregory. We're talking about Red Fox.
Wow,
we're
talking
talking
about
the
old school guys.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Those are my guys, man. Those guys coming up like Red Fox, these comics, they would go on the road and not even have a hotel. They'd have to sleep in a bus depot. And you want to talk about mental health.
Right.
And those guys had to pave the way, and now we have some resources.
It's a tough road to go. So Comedy Gives Back is partnering also with BetterHelp as well.
Exactly.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We have a partnership with them, and any working comic who emails us or is part of our community will get 1 month of free mental health services from them.
That's very important. I mean, I was looking statistically at things, and when you look at just average salary, performers, and particularly comedic performers, are way on the bottom of the list, and that's why something like this is super important. Now, for you, in terms of female comics, because they make up only like 11 or 12% of all comedians are females. That's it. So it's a struggle.
It's changing.
Yeah, it's evolving and it's getting better, and I understand that. But for you, who are the old school female comics that really inspired you to get involved in comedy?
Joan Rivers.
Well, of course, yeah, sure.
You know, Wendy Lieberman. You know, Lucille Ball. You know, Ball, even though she was not necessarily a stand-up comic. Yeah, those are some of my
Miles
influences.
Mabley.
Yeah, I remember. Wow,
Yeah.
so many of your generation, I remember Mom's
Yeah.
Mabley being on all the different variety shows back in the days. But wow, that's
Yeah.
You've got your history down,
Did my
man.
homework, yeah,
You've got
man.
some of the, yeah. So give us an idea of where some of the events that are going to be going on tomorrow that we can donate for this.
So we're doing a show at the Hollywood Improv in Los Angeles, but in New York we're at Gotham Comedy Club, West Side Comedy, Stand Up, The Stand, and New York Comedy Club.
Awesome. Now, Vlad, you're going to be hitting the road, I guess, shortly,
yeah.
going to Canada, right?
I'll be in Vancouver, Canada, but with Jodi also, she's done work. We've done shows in Montreal together for people dealing with different, health issues, and so the work extends a lot beyond,
Yeah. And I want to help you out. You're back in New York December 14th at the Stand, right?
I'm back in New York, yeah. The Stand Comedy Club and Restaurant over on Union Square.
All right. And you're going to be there New Year's Eve, too.
Yeah, shout out to
All
Chris
right.
and Paul.
There you go. Check out Vlad. Guys, good luck with tomorrow.
Thank you so
and
much.
good luck moving forward. Have a wonderful holiday. For more information on how you can give back and for a list of comedy clubs you can visit for Laughing Thursday, head over to comedygivesback.com.